Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we are diving into the groundbreaking book Only the Paranoid Survive by Andrew S. Grove. This book offers a treasure trove of insights shaped by the experiences of one of the most successful CEOs of our time. Within its pages, Grove outlines pivotal strategies to not only survive but exploit moments he coins as strategic inflection points, critical sink or swim moments in a company's life. As you listen, you'll gain a deeper comprehension of the intricate decision-making processes that steer a leading tech company and how you too can overcome business challenges with dexterity. But who is Andrew S. Grove? An engineer and businessman hailing from Hungary, Grove is the former president and CEO of Intel and a respected teacher at Stanford University's Graduate School of Business. His insights are revered worldwide, and his strategic approaches have undeniably shaped the course of many businesses today. So who should delve into this episode? If you own or run a business, are curious about the inner workings of large corporations, or want to understand how to navigate and triumph over critical moments in a company's life, this episode is perfect for you. Get ready to unravel the strategies that only the paranoid and ultimately successful utilize to survive. Only the paranoid survive. Transform apocalypse into opportunity. Introduction. The intriguing tale of survival. How did one of the globe's most successful corporations navigate through crisis? In the world of business, who better to learn survival techniques from than Andrew Grove, the former CEO of Intel, whose deft navigation skills kept the company afloat amid seas of overwhelming challenges. In his book, Only the Paranoid Survive, Grove pours out his insightful experiences, culminating in a strategic blueprint tailor-made for companies to not only withstand, but thrive during moments of drastic changes. The author dubs these moments as strategic inflection points, SIPs, critical junctures where the company is precariously balanced between sink or swim. The wisdom offered in this book is aimed at exploiting these precipices, turning potential corporate hazards into stepping stones for success. As we dive deeper into this narrative, we'll uncover why a company's biggest secrets might not always be best kept under wraps, and why reaching out to seemingly external entities such as journalists may actually fortify the company's standing. Plus, we'll understand why leaning on emotionally invested opinions can lead the company astray. Part 1. Decoding strategic inflection points. Business strategy is in constant flux amidst the changing market dynamics. A company's life cycle is sprinkled with pivotal moments when the validity of its very strategy comes into question. These moments, critical as they are termed strategic inflection points, SIPs. So, what sets off these moments of corporate upheaval? 6 key forces affect a company's competitive health and can drive it to reassess its strategic stance. These forces include the company's competitors, suppliers, current customers, prospective customers, and complementers, and the potential of conducting business in a fundamentally different manner. Any shake-up among these forces would dramatically alter the company's business landscape. Take the case of tech giant IBM. A significant shift in how business was done significantly affected IBM. When consumers could mix and match components produced and sold by various companies to build their personal computers, the demand for pre-assembled computers dropped drastically. Given the preference for customization over a ready-made design, IBM's continued development of pre-built PCs couldn't measure up to the demand for tailored PCs. The consequence? IBM sold fewer PCs than the individual components sold by other companies. Changes in any of these forces could reconfigure how companies fare in a market. Yet, some of these shifts can often go unnoticed. Technological changes, being relatively tangible and observable, are simpler to spot since they directly link to the business or production process. However, a shift in competitor strength can be far more elusive. Owing to the varying ease with which these 6 forces can be detected, companies should remain on high alert for any shifts that could potentially rock their boat. Part 2. Navigating the tide of strategic inflection points. A test for every employee in the evolving market landscape. The tremors of strategic inflection points, SIPs, are not just felt in the CEO's office. They reverberate throughout the entire company, reaching each and every employee. It's vital, therefore, for all employees to be SIP ready. These critical junctures often put jobs at risk. In extreme scenarios, an SIP could lead to company closure, rendering all its employees jobless. Even if the company survives, a restructuring might be in order, leading to potential job losses. In other cases, employees are required to acquire new skills to adapt to an unfamiliar business terrain. SIPs often compel employees to change their individual modus operandi in the market. Consider the advent of talkies in the world of cinema. Actors had to make the tough call, stick to silent movies or adapt to the new style of acting that sound movies demanded. While some couldn't transition to the new format, others did, albeit grudgingly at times. Charlie Chaplin, for instance, was an ardent critic of the coming of sound. Yet, eventually, even he succumbed, producing his first talkie, The Great Dictator. SIPs have also driven certain jobs to near extinction, particularly during major technological shifts. When industrialization kicked off, traditional craftsmanship faced an existential threat. Factories could churn out products more quickly and cheaply. Most artisans had to abandon their businesses and take factory jobs as their skills were no longer in demand. Only a handful of craftsmen could survive independently, setting themselves apart through high-quality production. SIPs call for a response, not just from companies but also individuals. One can weather these waves by scrutinizing their personal situation, specializing, or acquiring new skills. Part 3. Strategic inflection points. A double-edged sword teetering between disaster and opportunity. The rise of the Japanese memory chip industry sent ripples through Intel, originally a memory chip company, as the Japanese companies sold chips at prices that Intel couldn't compete with. In an attempt to salvage its position, Intel poured a significant amount of money into chip development, but it proved futile. The company found itself on the brink of a crisis. Intel was forced to make a painful decision: to overhaul everything that had been vital to its success, from its oldest plants to its most well-established departments. The situation was clear-cut. A strategic inflection point, SIP, can be disastrous for a company if its management fails to acknowledge the new circumstances and respond appropriately. Often, managers are blinded by their emotional attachment to existing business practices, leading them to overlook evolving trends. As a result, a company might persist with the same strategies that once delivered success, but in the transformed business environment, these could spell failure. Intel's futile attempts to rival the formidable Japanese memory chip industry by investing in its own chip development is a case in point. Yet, if a company successfully deploys an effective strategy at just the right time, SIPs can provide a golden opportunity to pioneer and dominate an entirely new market. Moreover, having to reposition a company in a new market while requiring a similar business strategy can bear fruitful results. In the face of Japanese competition, Intel deftly combined technological advancement with strategic repositioning. They shifted their focus and resources towards microprocessors, rebranding themselves as a microprocessor company, an arena they swiftly rose to lead. SIPs, no doubt, carry potential threats for companies. However, with timely and apt action, they can serve as a launchpad for future success. Part 4. Steering through the fog of strategic inflection points. A call for robust leadership to maintain focus and relevance. When a strategic inflection point, SIP, looms, it often throws a company into a state of disarray. Questions proliferate. Which path should the company take? Are changes required on a temporary or permanent basis? This whirl of uncertainty calls for clear direction. It calls for leadership. In large companies, it's the CEO who must spearhead this navigation with a clear vision of the company's future. The CEO must articulate this vision continuously and clearly. Failing to do so can have adverse repercussions. Case in point, a Japanese company's head declined to discuss their general strategy, fearing rivals would capitalize on the disclosed information. Whether his apprehensions were valid or not, his silence signaled a negative message to the company's employees and the public. When the company's strategy needs to be recast, CEOs mustn't shirk from overhauling the very heart of the business. This is no easy feat, as the CEO and staff are typically emotionally invested in the company's current state. Another hurdle in strategy redefinition is that it could involve shedding many jobs and recruiting new personnel for new roles. This daunting task needs to be tackled head-on, with unwavering resolve. Take Intel as an example. Until the memory crisis of the 1980s, Intel was synonymous with memory. However, Andrew Grove, the CEO and author of this book, stood firm in his resolve to redefine Intel as the microprocessor company. Despite initial resistance, many staff members eventually embraced this new vision. Once a new strategy is decided upon, it must be put into action. This involves sharing the message with the relevant people and leading by example, demonstrating a commitment to the new strategy and everything it entails. Part 5. Conveying a crystal clear message, a crucial step for aligning internal and external stakeholders with a new strategy. Strategic inflection points, SIPs, can sow seeds of confusion about a company's future trajectory. This ambiguity can erode team unity and morale, leaving individuals unsure of their roles and responsibilities. This sense of unease can ripple across a company's internal and external landscape. On one hand, employees may feel directionless and fearful for their job security. On the other, external stakeholders like partners and suppliers may worry about how impending changes might impact them. To mitigate this uncertainty, it's essential for companies to align all their actions with a well-articulated new vision. This demands reflection of the business's redefinition in its organizational structure. Hiring new talent or retraining existing staff may be required. Identifying new complementers and suppliers might also be necessary. For a smooth transition, it's critical to convey this new vision through a straightforward, impactful message both internally and externally. Convincing all employees to buy into this new vision is paramount, as their effectiveness hinges on their identification with the new order. Complementors and suppliers should also be apprised of the company's new direction, so they can tailor their operations accordingly. Knowing that a potential partnership lies on the horizon, a simpler message tends to be more effective. Simple messages stick, providing a sense of security. They are also more likely to be picked up and amplified by the media as headlines or sound bites. In essence, once a company crystallizes a new vision for its strategy, it should be communicated, through words and actions, with unerring clarity. This allows employees and the external world to grasp the shift and respond accordingly. Part 6. Valuing objectivity. Inviting external perspectives to balance emotional investment within the company. In critical scenarios, companies frequently rope in consultants to evaluate their business and propose effective action plans. The rationale behind this is the consultant's objective viewpoint, a perspective that might be missing internally. Often, company employees are emotionally entangled with their work, which can bias their viewpoints. Work forms a crucial part of a person's self-identity, and any alteration in their role can potentially upend their entire self-image. People generally develop a sense of comfort and belonging within their teams, making them resistant to changes. When Intel faced the memory crisis, some of its oldest production plants were operating at a loss, necessitating their closure and the redirection of resources to more viable plants. This decision met with resistance from senior staff who were emotionally tied to the company's origin story, in which these plants played a key role. Leaders must strive to detach themselves from such emotional bindings, taking on a more objective outsider's perspective. This shift in viewpoint can be achieved by engaging consultants or hiring new individuals who can provide fresh insights. However, Leaders must also brace themselves for potential criticism. Outsiders, with their unbiased viewpoint, are more likely to spot flaws and errors that might be overlooked by insiders. When faced with such criticism, it's essential for leaders to not let their egos impede their receptiveness, even when the criticism is leveled against a decision or action they've personally taken. Part 7. Promoting openness to stay ahead. Cultivating open communication with internal teams, external experts, and media. Many companies guard certain information closely, particularly when it pertains to new strategies and products. However, this secrecy can often lead to a communication breakdown between upper management and middle management, resulting in a failure to disseminate key information about goals and strategies. Ignoring the importance of open communication channels between upper and middle tiers of management is a grave misstep. Middle-level staff often have their fingers on the pulse of daily operations, making them adept at detecting subtle shifts that might compound into significant issues. They should be motivated to share their concerns and observations openly, since they can often offer valuable insights on alternative ways of running the business. Consider the case where Andrew Grove, the author of this book and Intel's CEO, received an email from an Asia-Pacific region sales manager discussing a potential competitor. Armed with this new information, Grove decided to commission a study on the matter. If the sales manager hadn't felt comfortable reaching out to Grove, this crucial competitor insight would have remained unnoticed. Maintaining close connections with business partners, external experts, and journalists is also essential for companies, as they can often provide a broader perspective on the overall market situation. For instance, staying in close contact with its complementer helps a company tap into the force driving the business. By keeping abreast with external experts, senior management can gain insights into market dynamics that might otherwise elude them. Even journalists, through their probing questions, can trigger a potentially beneficial change in perspective for managers. Changes in the business landscape can originate from the most unexpected quarters, even from within the company. Hence, it's crucial to stay vigilant and gather information from a broad range of sources. Part 8. Driving innovation and resilience. The role of flexible, creative teams in navigating turbulent times. The culture of a company plays a vital role in its capacity to weather periods of significant turmoil. If employees are not routinely confronted with new challenges, they grow accustomed to the status quo and lose their agility when major shifts occur. Such complacency can be fatal for a company facing a strategic inflection point, SIP. It is therefore crucial that employees are continuously honing new skills and that the team values flexibility. Firstly, employees with diverse skill sets can approach situations from various angles. Individuals habituated to constant learning adapt more easily to new tasks. An employee who can think outside the box, with the box representing their specific work domain, is well equipped to devise superior solutions for their work processes. Secondly, a flexible team fosters a trustful environment where fresh ideas can germinate and thrive. Creativity flourishes in spaces where people are empowered to explore their own solutions. Thus, employees should be encouraged to propose novel ideas and practices, like reallocating resources. An added advantage of team flexibility is an uplift in staff morale, as working in a supportive, creativity, nurturing, and flexible environment is inherently enjoyable. In summary, mutual trust and flexibility create a positive work environment. They condition people to band together in critical situations and brainstorm innovative ways to tackle challenges. Part 9. Navigating the volatile business landscape. The importance of vigilance and preparedness for multiple scenarios. Business landscapes are intricate and prone to swift transformations. In such an unpredictable environment, it's only the paranoid, the alert and prepared, who can navigate the tumultuous seas. Companies must stand ready for potential dangers lurking around every corner. But mere vigilance often doesn't suffice. They need to gear up for a multitude of scenarios, including those unexpected. To this end, companies should earmark substantial resources for innovation and development. This strategic move enhances their odds of being market pioneers with a new product, thereby undercutting their competitors' advantage. Furthermore, employees involved in development are typically abreast with the latest technical possibilities, providing an invaluable knowledge reservoir during periods of instability, such as strategic inflection points, SIPs. Secondly, in situations where market outcomes are unpredictable, companies should steel themselves for every conceivable outcome. While this means that some resources might be spent in vain, the skills gained in the process could prove beneficial down the line. Also, such proactive preparation can help companies estimate potential costs and repercussions of adopting a particular technology. Consider the battle between Blu-ray and HD-DVD. It was unclear which format would gain precedence, so it would have been prudent for a DVD or DVD player manufacturer to develop solutions for both formats. Even though part of this investment would inevitably go to waste, the company would be prepared no matter the winning format. Investing in development is crucial as it equips companies to respond swiftly to new situations or even spearhead market trends. Whether or not the developed technologies and techniques are implemented, an innovative company stands a stronger chance of weathering critical and unfamiliar situations. Final summary. The principal idea conveyed in this book: managers and employees must always stay primed for the inevitable periods of crisis that punctuate a company's journey. These crises, referred to as strategic inflection points, SIPs, can be not only navigated but also leveraged to the company's advantage by abiding by certain fundamental principles. Practical takeaways from this book: leverage external perspectives for unbiased insights. Managers often harbor an emotional connection to their company's narrative or image, which can cloud their objectivity. In challenging situations, it's crucial to seek unbiased advice from external sources, assess all available alternatives, and then take decisive action. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.